Hello, hello. Hi, Ted. Hi, Robbie. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I guess not much has happened, right? Quiet first start of 2026. Just totally chill. Totally chill in the world, Ted. All
Thank you
is
for
well
waking me
in the
up
new
this
year.
morning. Yeah.
Yeah, all is well. You guys are tuned in to the TED Manila Information Show, TMI show for short, because we bring you way too much information. I'm Manila Chan. That is Ted Rall. We do this live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time following Deprogram. So welcome to all you deprogrammers to the sister show, the brother show. I don't know what are we a sister show? Sister show. I don't know if Ted can hear me. I'm going to go ahead and feminize it. I'm going to go ahead and feminize it, Ted. It's the sister show.
Oh, okay.
It's the sister show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Please be sure to hit the like and the follow button, the subscribe, and I'm gonna echo what you guys said at the start of Deprogram for the GoFundMe for the Robbie aid, because Robbie does all of the producing for all the sister programs that we're kind of networking to try to build. And it's catching on. So I think that's wonderful. So they can, Robbie, tell us how we find it again. We go, and I like your new camera. It works well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So hold on just 1 second. I will grab the link. I'm woefully unprepared. Just 1 second.
Jumping from one show to the next. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also y'all are kind of picking from the bottom of the barrel. Y'all got some redneck out in the middle of Montana. So, I mean, there is that.
That's what we can afford.
Hey, it's not the middle. It's the edge of Montana. Let's be serious here.
That's true. The top one, northwest corner of it. So I will drop the link right now in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You guys can go search for that on
program
Robbie.
Yeah, it helps pay the bills. I mean, without it, seriously, I couldn't do this. I'd be working at Walmart or something.
Yeah. So it really does help if you can go there to what Ted said at the beginning of the month. We help Robbie get paid because we rely on viewers like you for the help to keep this going.
Speaking of viewers, we are at record viewership right now. We have got one lone soul over on YouTube. I said just go ahead and stream to YouTube just this one time because of the breaking topic. Yeah, why not? Okay. And we got an ad we have to do. Yeah, we have 80 people over on Rumble right now, so we'll take it.
Hello, Rumblers.
Yeah, so I will drop y'all's ad for you.
We'll drop the ad up there, and then we'll get that out of the way and head over to all the topics.
Do you want me to read it or just paste it for you?
Just paste it up, and I will blast through it.
All right.
Thank you. Robbie's new camera looks great. So he's, as you can see, we reinvest back into the show.
That's true, and that's an important thing to do. I remember reading. Do you remember the punk band L7?
L7, yes.
They're it's like a ladies very cool band. Anyway, the point 90s? Is, I remember 90s. And I remember reading an interesting piece in the money section of the New York Times, of all things, like Sunday Business, where they interviewed them about money, and basically they were like, we invest all of our profits back into the band, and that's basically kept them going a lot longer than they ever would have otherwise.
Wow. Well, I mean, like anything else, it is a small business, and when you start, that's really what you have to do. So we appreciate all the help in 2025, and here we go in 2026. All right, so let's get to our first sponsor, and then we'll get to the topics. Okay, so you still, it's 2026, Ted. You still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped, only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus without the crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free because toxins suck, and mold free. You don't want mold, that sucks too. Plus, you're getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, and a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler. $170 worth of coffee and gear, all yours for just $99. This is for the ones who have been watching 1775 blow up here on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble. All right, so with that, let's get all the topics. We won't stay too long on the Maduro thing because I know Deprogram really went in depth into that, but I have some conspiratorial stuff to throw your way, Ted.
Okay, let's hear.
Then Foil Hat comes out on the first Monday of the new year. So let's Okay, so everybody knows, right? Maduro, first, Ted, can I just point out how much I hate when this is happening? All the headlines were saying, all the mainstream media was saying, captured, kidnapped.
Yeah, captured implies that there was a war. And that,
right, like this is not, no.
It's not capture the flag. Yeah. It's a kidnapping.
This was a kidnapping. This is like CIA level, like snatch you off the streets. Like this is snatch you out of your bed at 2 a.m. Like this is.
Well, 1 a.m., but yes.
1 a.m.
Yeah.
He turns in early.
They took the wife.
So yeah, okay. So I just need to address that. I hated that. I cringed all weekend from every channel, from whatever MSNBC is called now. What is it? MS Now or something?
Now.
Like muscular
sclerosis now.
Now? Okay.
No offense to people who love muscular sclerosis. Like, muscular sclerosis now! Who doesn't want that? It's such a bad name. They were saying that all day. CNN, Fox, of course, Fox is trumpeting like captured. It's the wrong title. It's not. It's inaccurate. But anyway, so today people were, this whole weekend people were wondering where Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president, where she was. Well, she was just sworn in as the acting president, and she was still saying that she's just acting and that Nicolás Maduro is still the president. So I don't know how that sits with Washington. I don't know if they expected her to say something like that, but anyway, she's the acting president, and she invited the U.S. to work with her on what she called a cooperation agenda, and this striking sort of in the same way that Pétain had a cooperation agenda during the early 1940s with Germany. He literally called it collaboration. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, I think this is just to save her own hide, Ted. What do you think? Because I think they.
Yeah, no, 100. Look, I think so. I think yes, she's afraid personally, but not everything. I'm going to say not everything automatically comes down to naked personal interest, and it might in this case. I don't know her, but it could also be. It's easy to imagine being in her position and thinking like, okay, I don't want the Venezuelan people even more of them to be killed by American invasion troops in a second wave. I don't want Caracas to be reduced to burning ashes. So
to Gaza.
Yeah, exactly, to Gaza. So
don't Gaza my Caracas.
So I mean, she might be thinking like, I have a ethical responsibility to basically see if I can basically placate these crazy Americans. So I think a part of it is in effect a Rodriguez surrender, in effect, right? Without being herself deposed. I think it's I mean, at least nominally the Venezuelan government is still in existence, right? I mean, basically the system still exists. It's as if Maduro had died. And he's been incapacitated. I mean, he's in prison. He's in a foreign country. He's been kidnapped, and so
but everything else is left alone.
The constitutional norm has been respected in Venezuela, unlike here in the U.S., where this had nothing to do with the Constitution. But at least in Venezuela, it's like, well, what do? We go to the vice president. We make her the acting president. She has not declared herself president. They haven't had a new election yet.
Right.
I mean, it's
There's
at
nobody
that
saying the Chavista movement is over. There's nobody saying
right.
that the Bolivarian government is
It's changed.
overthrown. Right.
No,
They're
it's
not
the
saying any
same
of that.
government, so they're operating the best they can under the circumstances. So
I
it's
think
yeah.
she's doing what she can.
She's
I know a lot
following
of
the
people,
constitutional order. I mean, except,
she's
and
doing what
I
she
mean,
can, I think.
Obviously, when you have a hostile, extremely hostile, is psychotic military right on your border that's literally just shown what it's willing to do, invade your country without basically
Totally.
without any legality, without even the barest, thinnest shred of even a credible excuse. Right? Like literally,
no,
we're not
Ted,
even
you're wrong.
We're not even going to make something up.
1823, Monroe Doctrine.
Right. Oh, and the other thing, yeah, I mean, I guess we should talk about, John and I did not talk about this on Deprogram, but Rubio and Trump have made all sorts of dark allusions to the oil that was supposedly stolen from the United States by Venezuela. So
it's actually the infrastructure, not the black crude in the ground.
Yeah, that oil has never. Yeah, no U.S. company has ever had any oil concession rights in Venezuela at all.
No.
So that's what they have had is they've had some processing and refinery rights,
right?
And those were negotiated away.
Machinery.
They weren't. It's not like the Cuban Revolution where these assets were nationalized in a hostile takeover by the government. They negotiated, and basically they did the same process that the Saudis and other oil-producing countries did in order to get control of their own assets. The Saudis were more radical, actually.
So Ted, this is exactly what my friend Anya Parampil, her book about Venezuela from last year, called "Corporate Coup." This is exactly it. This is it. This is a coup performed by the U.S. government and our tax dollars to benefit the Exxon and Chevron.
Yeah, and by the way, here's the other thing. Normally, when people like us say things like that, that's just us coming to it from an anti-American leftist point of view. But that's not the truth here. The president himself told us that. He said, this is about the oil. I'm taking the oil. This is like we're running the country. So literally, it's the president himself who said that this is all about it's an oil grab. By the way, stealing oil doesn't really work that way, right? I mean, it's basically like if you dump more oil on the market, it's not like unless we annex Venezuela and turn it into an American protectorate and we have U.S. state enterprises take it over and drill out the oil and ship it to the U.S., there's no way to get that oil for ourselves. I mean, it's oil companies that will drill it out.
That's right.
Like ExxonMobil, and it'll go onto the global market, and the Zambians and the Colombians and the Vanuatuans and the South Africans and the Russians, everyone's going to get the oil at the same exact price as we will.
Yeah, this is about enriching American corporations. Fuck your sovereignty. Fuck your human rights. We're going to call you a narco-terrorist, which I'd never heard anyone call Maduro.
Which is not a term that exists in law.
Right.
There is no, which is, by the way, why it does not appear anywhere in the
law, right?
In the indictment against Maduro,
right? Because it's. But Ted, once you say it, I think it's going to get there pretty soon. But once you say it 10,000 times publicly in a public sphere, it gets into Merriam-Webster and it becomes a real word.
That's true.
Just like bootylicious. Beyonce made it into the dictionary, like 15 years ago or whatever, 20 years ago.
We should. Are you saying we're going to charge Maduro with bootyliciousness?
With some bootyliciousness,
I've
those
seen
Latinos.
His booty. I don't think but his wife's kind of bootylicious.
Look, they were probably very good-looking people when they were younger. I don't think he's a bad-looking older man. I don't think he's a bad-looking older man. I mean,
he's a dopey-looking guy.
He's got some jowl. He's older. His face, stuff, but it's fine. His wife, you can tell, is still. And
he's kind of a dim bulb, right? Hugo Chavez, he is not.
Well, Ted, he was a bus driver. Not to malign all bus drivers, but generally
many intelligent bus drivers.
But generally,
he wasn't one of them.
So, and like I said, last week he was doing like karaoke at one of his stump speeches. Like, just that's not
And apparently
normal.
apparently the Trumpies were really
okay.
annoyed when at his dance at Maduro's little and they were like, he's making fun of us. We'll show him.
Yeah, look, like they keep calling him a strongman or whatever, and I think it's totally American press spinning who apparently Ted and I really think he is, which is a big dork. He's like a dorky bus driver.
He's dork. Yeah.
I think he's a big dorky bus driver that people in the American West, or at least in DC, have spun. The media cycle here has spun
It doesn't work though, because nobody's ever fucking heard of Nicolás Maduro until a week ago. I mean, seriously,
until he started bombing all the Latinos on boats.
90% of Americans, until a week ago, could not identify Nicolás Maduro if he broke into their house, and they could,
if he crossed the southern border
on a map.
Nobody would be able to tell him from the next guy that walked over in Mexico.
Migrant.
Nobody would know. Nobody knew until about a week or two ago.
That's why the effort to portray we overthrew this despot. I mean, with Saddam, they worked it for a while, I
know, but that's the thing. The veil is off now, Ted. It's like going back to this oil thing.
There never was a veil.
There was no veil here. We're past that stage with Saddam, like 20 plus years ago. Mm-hmm. They at least tried.
It was a year and a half of revving it up.
WMD.
This time, there's no war lube before they just stick it in.
No. Oof. Just, and the thing is, it seems like the American public, at least some of them anyway, the cultists are like, yeah. Put that down, Big Daddy. Give it to me. And everyone else is like, oh no.
Or everyone else is like, well, here's the thing, Manila, right? Like, so I think this might go over, except for one thing.
Robbie says if we expand the border to the southern tip of South America, it cures the immigration problem.
Yeah, it certainly cures America no longer has an underpopulation issue at that point.
We'd be making babies if we annex all of South America.
Brazil? Yeah, are you kidding? I mean, I guess, and our babies would be better looking too. I guess, but here's the thing. At the same time, over the weekend, that basically here's the thing. We haven't really even invaded Venezuela, right? I mean, basically Trump first said, we're going to run it. But then Rubio went on the Sunday talkies yesterday and said, actually what we're going to do is we're going to coerce the Venezuelans into basically, when we say jump, they're going to ask how high, by keeping all of our ships and our drones right near there. And if they fuck with us, then we'll nail them again. I'm like, I don't know that you can really just sort of run a country by breathing down their neck, in perpetuity. Not to mention, we can't really afford to keep all those people deployed there for years on end. No. That's not going to happen, right? So it's kind of all bullshit. But here's the thing: we haven't digested Venezuela. We've barely nibbled it. We killed hundreds of their people, and we stole 2 of their top officials, if you count the first lady.
Well, but that's apparently like 2 dozen were Cuban.
True. But now Trump's saying, now Cuba, Iran, Greenland / Denmark.
No,
we're going after Colombia. He told the president of Colombia,
yes,
you're
on notice. Yeah, they told
domestically
Gustavo Petro that he's on notice, which is crazy. I think Ted's freezing. Or is that just me? Yeah, Ted's freezing.
I don't know if that was you, me. But anyway, domestically, right? I just wonder here in the U.S. How this all goes over. I mean, basically, when it's one thing the Venezuela thing is bad enough, and it's basically the act of a madman. But it's definitely the act of a madman when the madman is running around saying, I'm also going after all these other countries at the same time. That's an act of a madman.
It's this is not like I knew him. I knew that he coming in this time as a lame duck, that he would be able to take the gloves off, because that's any politician, right? When they get elected and they know they're coming in as a lame duck, they really can behave differently than they would, if they know they're trying to, jump for another second, third, fourth term or whatever. Which, by the way, we should point out the breaking news about Tim Walz. Did you hear?
Tell me. No, I didn't hear.
Tim Walz just before we jumped on air announced he's dropping his bid for a third term as Minnesota governor.
Oh, he can. So
I wonder
see.
why.
Well, maybe he's finally gonna. I think I bet he got a big tampon endorsement deal that he's got to.
He's got a Tampax deal, big commercial. I know. I brought that up, and now Robbie's like, "Okay, Robbie."
He has a future in daycare. I mean, I mean, he's got Somalis that can help him out, and
that's true.
He'll be fine.
I hear there's a lot of vacancies in those places.
Yeah, there are. I mean, they're wide open. I was, over the break, I was kind of just going through, just looking at everything. The whole reason I started building a new UI is because I kept trying to find out, by using a search, which of these that are government funded daycares were owned by migrants or immigrants, depending on your term. I call them invaders, but you can't, like a Perplexity can't. That's violates racial profiling, and of course everyone else does too. So I have to go through and just stare at them manually. Over 80% of the ones that I've found are owned by immigrants who are getting federal tax dollars for child daycare subsidies, and that is insane.
Okay.
And
that's from your own research.
That's from my own research. Going through.
I haven't dove into that, but I believe you. I've looked, skimmed the surface over our Christmas/New Year's break when all this news was breaking. But I
was going through just one at a time. Me and Thomas, I employed some child labor, and when in Somalia do as Somalis do, and if you're in Somalia, you can always bring it to you. So that's what I did. And it's insane. I mean, I always thought that one of the rules before you're able to nationalize in a country is that you had to be financially viable and not stuck on the government tit. But evidently, that does not apply to the United States.
I think that was something that Tim Walz bragged about when he was on stage debating.
Yeah, he sure did.
Vance, and looking back now,
oops,
going back 6 months.
Might have been best not to mention that one.
Yeah.
Oops. So there's that. So I just wanted to bring up that bit of breaking news. And
honestly, I was a little surprised that Minnesota, which is a progressive state, doesn't have term limits. I mean, for governor. I mean, you shouldn't be able to run for 3 terms as governor of Minnesota, in my opinion. I mean, I'm very pro term limit. I'm very pro term limit.
Yeah.
I am too.
I mean, even Gavin Newsom is term limited out. Thank God.
Yeah. But of course, the problem is we know what that means.
Yeah.
2028 is
Hello, President special. Newsom.
So again, Newsom, Buettner, if you're watching, my book is written. It's written. It's ready to go. It's edited. It's done. It's written. Buettner wants to be governor. Newsom wants to be president. You guys should take a cue from Tim Walz, seek out a Tampax endorsement deal, and say bye-bye.
No, here's what I think should happen.
Drop blows. He's going to throw blows soon.
It's not going to be pretty, I promise you.
Here's what I think should happen is that when President Pete Buttigieg, when he becomes president, that what he should do is that he should make Tim Walz the head of the Federal Department of Daycares.
We should nationalize daycare. Okay.
100%. Well, we are.
We could turn Tim Walz into the puppet dictator of Venezuela.
That could be.
I mean, because culturally, no one would be able to tell any difference. He's so Latino.
He'd be able to upgrade his wife.
Oh, well, that's true.
Venezuelan
ladies are like, holy shit. Yeah, smoldering.
Tim Walz's wife, when I was looking at research, look at somebody hit her in the face when she was aborted and she was 3 days old. I
That's
mean,
true.
it's pretty bad.
Why is
Yeah.
she so mean? I don't know.
Well,
what she looks like.
he looks
I don't
like
know.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Well, look, he's young. I mean, young for what he looks like. I mean,
Sure.
he looks much older than he is.
He's younger.
What I'm saying.
I know he's younger than me, right?
That's what I'm saying. He looks
That's fucking insane.
Much older. He looks much older.
If you
than
told
his
me he was
actual
74, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
I would believe it. Yeah. If you told me he was up there close to Biden, I would 100%. I would.
Yeah. If you told me he was 78, I'd be like, he's pretty good looking for a 78 year old.
He's
guy.
good for 78. Yeah. But if he's like 60 or 61, I'm like, oh my God. But okay. Okay, Robbie, I'm going to send you back to producer land. Just a couple more points on the Venezuela stuff. Ted, surprise! Chevron stock jumped today. Gold and silver.
Surprise, gold and silver. Yeah, way up. Right.
Way up. So
that's because of instability, right? So I want to remind everyone what happened the last time the U.S. tried to do an oil grab. Like, hey, let's get the oil from Iraq.
Or and in Syria, remember Trump was like, can we just go get the oil?
Yeah. And all the oil prices shot way up because of the instability in the production, right? Like basically when you have a fucking war raging in an oil producing country, it's hard for them to produce oil. It has been pointed out that Venezuela is under full capacity. I love how they say, like Trump said, they're not pumping as much as they could because it's a dump. I'm like, gee, I wonder why they're having trouble maintaining their equipment down there in Venezuela. Like, is it because they forgot to order it on Amazon? Your shipping delays, or could it be decades of U.S. sanctions that make it impossible for them to get the shit that they need to produce everything? The other thing about
or that they can't sell to other people other than Russia and China.
By the way, Venezuela could disintegrate into civil war too. It is not a totally unified country. I mean, hell, neither is ours.
Can I just say one thing I'm happy to see come out of this, which I found very amusing, is that Corina Machado.
Oh God, yeah,
I think she was waiting for the phone call, and then Trump says live on air.
Yeah. She said
it's not going to be Corina Machado.
I am ready to seize power. Very unfortunate choice of words, really.
And Trump was like, no, we're going to follow their constitution. The vice president, whatever.
That's the only positive news in this whole fiasco is that that Machado was like cock blocked here.
Yeah. So Ted, I mean, wouldn't you call her kind of like a traitor to her country for $1 million for the Nobel Prize?
She would have been the Hamid Karzai of Venezuela, or the Ahmed Chalabi. She ended up being the Ahmed Chalabi because she thought she was going to run the whole thing, but no.
I think she became a useful idiot, and I think egg is on her face, and I think she deserves it.
I give Trump. You know me, I'm fair. I give credit where it's due. Trump's an insane maniac for invading Venezuela, but it was keeping Machado out was a good call.
Yes, so that like I said is the one highlight of this whole fiasco that
she had it
pretty
coming.
Much against. But you know what? She was paid off, Ted, with that Nobel $1 million prize.
Disgusting.
Yeah, so there you go, lady. Take your $1 million. Yeah. Shut up. You're not
go hang out with Tim Walz.
Yeah, go hang out in Switzerland or wherever you're hiding.
Well, she's much cuter than Tim Walz's wife, so there's Robbie's suggestion right there.
Well, like you said, Venezuelan women.
Yeah, no. I mean, I knew like sleazy like newspaper editor dudes who went to Venezuela on sex tourism jaunts.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna hit the jaws and we'll go to our next topic.
Okay, a Paris court has found 10 people guilty of cyber harassing Brigitte Macron for spreading claims that she's not a lady, but she was a dude with a cock. Brigitte and her husband, French President Emmanuel Macron, have long faced such slurs, including allegations that she was born under the name Jean-Michel Trogneux, which is actually the name of her brother. The couple's 24-year age gap also drew criticism and jokes, which they ignored for years, but have recently become challenging in court. The court ruling is a victory for the Macrons as they pursue a high-profile defamation lawsuit against right-wing influencer Candace Owens, who is in deep shit because she's going to lose that case, who also claimed Brigitte was born a dude. The 8 men and 2 women were found guilty of making malicious comments about Brigitte's gender and sexuality, even equating her age difference with her husband to pedophilia. They were handed sentences of 8 months, up to 8 months, with suspended jail time. So in other words, they won't have to actually go, but it was sort of like a symbolic, they have a criminal record. That's the main thing. Speaking with TF1, which is French TV, Brigitte defended her fight, saying she hoped that it would serve as an example to other people. She said that the attacks against her were endless. That's how the internet is when it attacks you. Trust me, I know you know this, Manila. And included people who broke into my tax website and modified my identity. By the way, how is your security so bad that you don't have, like, what's your password, like, croissant? Anyway, and included people. Anyway, she lamented that her attackers ignored the strong evidence of her gender. What? Like, what? Did she show her pussy on television? I mean, what is she talking about? I don't know what that means.
Oh, no.
Her strong evidence. Here we go. A birth certificate is not nothing, she said. It's not much, though. I mean, it's just a piece of paper with type. And back then, it was typed on. Big fucking
right.
book. It is a father or a mother who goes to declare their child, who says that he is or who she is. She said, I want to help adolescents to fight against harassment. If I don't set the example, it will be difficult. So, I mean, I think that's, look, she was right. Enough is enough. Look, she's a lady, okay? And she's
because
not,
we don't want to get sued.
well, she's a lady. I mean, look, unless we see her,
Maybe, I don't know.
her giant schlong, we're going to assume that she's a lady. So, I mean,
she's a lady that beats her husband.
She's a lady who beats her husband. They're sadly not uncommon. So, that's what this is.
I have all kinds of questions and wondering.
You shouldn't be able to just say stupid shit like this all over the internet.
No, but why?
And publish it and assume that it's okay.
What I don't know the laws in France, Ted, but what are the laws about free speech? Is there such a thing?
No. France doesn't have a First Amendment.
Oh.
So, no, that's why, for example, you can't say, not only can you not say anything pro-Nazi, for example, in France, you can't deny the existence of the Holocaust. In France, people have gone to prison, including Jean-Marie Le Pen, right, for denying the Holocaust or saying that it was less severe than it really was or anything like that. So, no, France definitely has all sorts of regulations against free speech. So you can't just say anything you want. I thought it was interesting here that basically, though, they didn't think that these people needed to go to prison. They wanted to send a message like, cut the shit. You will pay a price for this. You'll be dragged through court and you'll end up with a criminal record. A criminal record in France, though, is not that big a deal. It's like here in the U.S., it means that you can't vote anymore. You're going to be, you're probably not going to ever be able to find a decent job again. But none of that's true in France. In France, you don't have to tell your boss, your employer, that you have a criminal record. You just apply. Like, basically, once you're done, you're done. It's just on your government record. If you get into more trouble in the future, then you're let's say you did something else criminally, then your sentencing would take into account your previous record and say, you did this thing before, so your sentence is going to be worse because it's a second offense.
I feel like Robbie's with me on this, is I feel like the Europeans have lost their shit. The Europeans and the UK have lost their shit about people having the right to mean tweet, basically. I don't know, Robbie, what do you think?
Well, I mean, Ted summed up pretty good. I mean, in England, which has a much smaller population, has got more people in prison right now for social media posts than the evil dictator Putin does. But yet Britain is this vibrant democracy that we must protect at all costs, same as France. But meanwhile, that same vibrant democracy that defends human rights will put you in prison if you call out migrants, or if you say, hey, why is it that there's no pictures of Bridget with her brother anywhere?
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't get along with her brother.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could listen. If you want to put this thing to bed, this is how I would do it. Keep in mind, I'm a simpleton. I understand this. I would let's just say if someone was insisting that I was a woman, and but actually I'm my sister. I'm just kind of cosplaying. Well, the way I would solve this particular problem is I would invite my sister over, and I would go on TV with her, say, "This is my sister. I'm a dude.
And here's my penis, and here's her vagina."
Yeah, I mean, we are two separate people.
Although these days that doesn't really prove anything either.
Well, it doesn't, but I mean, that's the whole point, though, right? Is just instead of putting people in prison for saying things that hurt your feelings, why not pretend that? Why not at least why not just make the effort, pretend like you are the democracy that you advertise that you are?
Look, I don't agree with France's laws. I do think that they are the laws that they have. I do think that people should be punished for just. It annoys the shit out of me that people will just will say things about you that are just completely false. By the way, this is probably a topic at some point, but over the weekend, I was looking at my X feed, and there was kind of a long takedown of my position about, basically about a number of political issues on X. And then when you looked at the feed, which looked like it's called something like, it was about Mamdani. It was like NYC Desk, which sounds like a media outlet. And when you click on it, it says generated automatically. That's like the underneath the description of the X account. So in other words, a bot has an account on X, produced a long screed about me. And by the way, all of the content is false. It basically says that I was like Mamdani's bitch, and then it goes on and it says all sorts of stuff about me and Mamdani, all of which is patently untrue. Like during his first 100 days, he's been in office for 4 days. I mean, it's like stuff like that, right? And it's just like that's the world we live in. It's post-truth, and so I mean, I'm with you. I'm a free speech absolutist, but I also think you should. With great power comes great responsibility. People should be held to account for just saying whatever the fuck they want, and then smearing you. Like if I say like Robbie West, loves Israel and he sucks Bibi Netanyahu's cock, and it's obviously the exact opposite of true. You should have some sort of recourse.
Well, I do, and that recourse that I have isn't legal. It's in the marketplace of ideas. So what I can do is, okay, here's what's going on. Here's what this bot's saying. By the way, I was looking at the little AI bot that I'm building. I was looking at API just to have it just kind of do what you're talking about doing, just automatically just reshare you. And it's $200 a month to do that, which is insane. So whoever's doing this, they're paying a king's ransom to spread fake news, which is hilarious because they're wasting their money.
Well, I'm sure it's a government agency. Is what I'm sure it is, and I bet I know which Middle Eastern only democracy it might be.
Oh, I'm sure, but the point that I'm going to try to make real quick is that the way that you push back against bad ideas and just fake news like that isn't censorship or putting people in jail. It's by going out there the truth, tagging your people, hey, here's what's going on.
Yes, if it works, though, Robbie. I mean, let's say that a person who has Candace Owens, who has many hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of followers, decides to smear you. I mean, I think my Twitter account has something just shy of 9,000 followers. I can't keep up. I mean, there's no way I can counter that.
No, I hear what it is what you're saying, and believe me, I see the temptation. Just for me, it all goes back to how much power do I want to give the government to police speech? Because
right. I'm like you and I, we're both very highly skeptical. I'm skeptical of that, right? I mean, no doubt.
And so I would rather just eat a crap sandwich every day if it means defending free speech than going to court, setting up a precedent that could be used against me later on by someone that hates me.
No, I hear that. So, Robbie, let's get into the next topic. Here we go. Okay, Trump's team is quietly considering changes within one of the administration's most influential agencies. Romance rumors are swirling around Kristi Noem, America's favorite dog-killing Homeland Security Secretary, and her top advisor have evolved into a crisis. While the White House publicly says that Noem's position is secure, behind the scenes, potential replacements are being discussed. According to Politico, speculation about her alleged romantic involvement with Corey Lewandowski, a longtime Trump ally, has intensified. Dubbed the Capitol's worst kept secret, Lewandowski and Noem, who are both married to other folks, have denied that they are boning. Yet the rumor mill has churned since Lewandowski joined Noem at Homeland Security, where he now serves as her senior advisor. Asked about the rumors and whether he would consider firing her, and whether Trump would consider firing her, Noem brushed it all off with uneasy laughter. She maintained her focus on work, claimed that she has no indication that her job is in risk, and went out and shot another dog. The roots of this controversy stretch back several years. The reports first started in 2021. She first denied it all, accusing her enemies of launching disgusting attacks, but the controversy has lingered. She oversees the execution, of course, of the immigration policy, and Lewandowski's influence within DHS raises some concerns. Allies say he is engaged in personnel decisions and policy discussions. Critics inside the department say it's toxic, unhealthy, destabilizing. Meanwhile, Trump loyalists have not called for her to be thrown out, but some officials privately acknowledge that the scandal is a distraction, complicating her ability to do her job. Sources familiar with the discussions indicate that Fox News contributor and former Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz are among the potential successors. Also, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin is a possibility because he's going to be leaving office later this month. He's viewed by some Trump people as a polished executive, capable of stepping into a cabinet role without stirring immediate controversy. I think he would turn down that job because Homeland Security is so controversial right now. Noem, previously seen as a rising star with aspirations for the presidency perhaps in 2028, is now in deep shit. As long as romance rumors continue to overshadow her public image, she looks bad. In other reports, including Pete Hegseth and Pam Bondi, have also been mentioned among those who expect to be fired. Unlike Trump's first term, which frequently featured high-profile layoffs, Noem's situation might be a distraction, at least for now. And of course, while we're talking about all this gossip girl shit, we should also talk about the rumors that J.D. Vance might overthrow his swarthy wife, Usha, in favor of the decidedly lighter-skinned widow of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
No. I know. I've heard that one. Yeah, I don't
Definitely googly eyes.
You think they're crushing?
They are crushing.
The widow? Crushing on the widow?
On the werewolf. Fast? The widow and the werewolf. They even have alliteration going for them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that Vance would do that. For one thing, it would destroy his brand. For another thing, Peter
and
Peter
hers
Thiel,
too.
The other thing is that Peter Thiel will have to give him permission to do that. So we have to call him up and ask what position to get into.
Because he's got Louisiana lip lock on Peter Thiel's love pork chop. Yeah.
For sure.
No,
and as far as Trump goes, when it comes to Mrs. Noem, I don't think that Trump cares because he's a serial adulterer. Second of all,
that's true.
Pete Hegseth is bragging about committing war crimes. I don't think that factors in. I would fire her because she's been too gentle on immigration. She's been too soft. She hasn't been radical. Listen, I'm being dead serious. Like over the weekend,
I know you are.
And also too nice to dogs.
No, after Maduro, when he got overthrown, he got kidnapped. All those Venezuelans are in Delisle, Florida. Over 40% of the population are foreign-born Venezuelans. I would have had an army of ICE agents there the day of rounding them all up and sending them back home. Because if you love your country that much, and if you're celebrating that there are
only like two of them. Okay, I mean the rest of they were all AI. The rest of them.
I'm talking about the people in the Florida city
I'm
of
talking
Delau.
about them too.
So I sent you like pictures of actual video recordings, not just still pictures. It wasn't AI, it was real.
No, there's AI in video too.
So here's what y'all need to do. Oh, I know I play with it, but this is real. But the point that I'm trying to make is that she's too gentle on immigration. She's failing. She has not deported. No, Trump is still below Obama's numbers. That is a statement of fact.
So the thing is, of course, what Trump, in all seriousness, has to weigh whenever you think about firing someone you appointed is if you hire someone and then you fire them, that reflects on you. It's like, well, you made this decision, you hired this
like
person.
with Bolton.
Yeah, so this is your fault. It's like you can't, if you hire someone, it's like if your kid misbehaves, that's your fault. It's like that.
Well, depending on the age of the kid. Because
I don't. Okay, she's made some bungles in the way of wasting.
She's also the public face.
Hundreds of millions
She's the public
dollars.
face of this in a big way. Like you go through TSA, there's her video talking at you with her ridiculous hair
and her glamour shot picture,
and her incompetence.
And by the way, also
she and Corey have lost millions and
millions
and millions of dollars in 1 year, hundreds of millions. Remember with the jets? We covered that. The jets that ended up not having engines in them. Like, hello.
Just use catapult. She don't need engines. Just catapult them. They'll be fine.
Well,
what they're going to do.
Of course, taking the dog killing, former governor of North Dakota and thinking that she could be a cabinet member is pretty much on par with appointing the former mayor of South Bend to be a major cabinet member.
Thinks she can be president is what the inside talk
is.
Her
hair can be president.
She wants to run for office in 2028. She wants to inherit MAGA.
Yeah.
What crack is she smoking? Is she high on her hairspray?
Manila, she's not running for president. She's running for vice president. You and I have had this conversation before. There's running for president when you are in like that. She knows she can't be president, but she knows she can be vice president. And then if something happens to the werewolf,
whoops.
Yeah.
Like
if the werewolf falls down a flight of stairs during a full moon, oh well.
Let me throw this out there. Do you think right now in Trump's cabinet, her included, and people, the hangers on like Corey Lewandowski and whoever,
do you think they're balls deep? Do you think it's true? I think it's true.
No, it's true. It's a known thing here in DC, and it was exposed 3 years ago.
Now, are they estranged from their former spouses, or are they just cheating?
No, they're just cheating and denying it when everybody here in DC was like, no, we have evidence. People have brought evidence like 3 years ago of their alleged affairs. I forget, all the shit, but it was like texts, their photos. People have seen them leave the late night hotel room visits and
subtle.
So all of that.
So this is kind of like on par with. Remember when Giuliani was cheating on his wife and at fancy hotels in New York?
That's just what these idiots do. So so it's a known thing here in DC. This is like before when she was just the governor. This is before she stepped into Trump's orbit full on. This is when she was Governor Kristi Noem. She was in the first term. She was hooking up with Corey Lewandowski, and that was all the talk here in DC. Was like, oh, Trump's guy Corey Lewandowski is banging all the hot chicks, and including Hope Hicks. That's way out of his league.
That's true.
Way
out. That's true.
Superbly out of his league. Like
true.
Like couldn't be more out of his league. Like
true.
Wow.
And that guy must have some. He must be a coxman.
Must be. I mean, he must be laying the pipe. Like wow. Just oh boy. But he's married to a very homely looking, probably a very nice lady.
Sorry.
Probably a really great. I mean, right? Like she looks like a nice lady. But
I'm looking her up.
You'll see.
Oh my God, he looks like such a human butthole.
He looks like a weasel, right? And she's like this nice, homely looking, like Midwestern lady.
Oh, there she is. Oh, she's better looking than he is.
Like,
That's not saying much.
That's not. Yeah, he looks like a weasel.
She does look great, actually.
You know,
She
for
looks
him,
like a nice. She looks like a nice person. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for him, she seems like a great girl.
yeah.
But he's been known to kind of step out on her while during the Trump 1. So now Trump 2, yeah, I don't know. So that's the talk. I don't know what she's going to do, but here's my thing I'm going to pose to you guys before we do our quick little last story of did you know? My tinfoil hat theory on this is that in Trump 2.0, he has surrounded himself with all of these people who are actually hoping for his demise, hoping for either he drops dead, hoping he gets some, I don't know, he gets Congress, ousters him, tries to ouster him again, like with, the Nancy Pelosi days. I think he's surrounded by sharks waiting for him to become chum. Just everybody. He's everybody around him.
Well, wait, do you think he did this on purpose?
No, I think it's because he's an idiot.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's not a tinfoil hat thing. That's just sort of like a observation thing.
I think he's surrounded himself with people that are.
But I mean, everybody knew it was going to be his second term, and that, like, obviously he's not supposed to serve anymore. I mean, if whatever tatters are left of the Constitution applies.
So I think, JD Vance, I think all of these people and all the big money interests behind all this, all the tech bros are all waiting for him to just either drop dead or like they're like crossing their fingers. They're just like, yes, so we can push our guy. Whoever Elon Musk decides to back in 28, like I'm sure they're trying to overthrow Trump.
Here's the thing, right? Like, so, okay, let's do the counterfactual and then we'll move on. I don't see like really what most of the country isn't aware of this. This is inside the Beltway shit. And so does it really matter? I mean, like, politically, it's not like people are like in, Bible Thumplandia are sitting there saying, like, this is unchristian behavior, like all this like cheating on people's husbands and wives is going on in DC. The president's got to stop it. No one cares. No one knows. So does it matter?
Well, as someone that's in Bible Thumpia, yeah. I can kind of answer this question. So for one thing, you got to keep in mind.
I'm talking about
I do. Here, well, as a practicing fundamentalist Christian who believes in creationism, just kind of show you, just people don't know. I mean, that's where I am. We have a government that is going out of its way, lying to the American people to protect pedophiles in government. So we already know our government is rotten to the core.
Invading a country in part to cover that up.
But we also know that our government is complicit in committing a genocide that has killed over 100,000 people in Gaza that we funded.
Including a lot of Christians.
So the fact that there's someone stepping outside of their wife, it doesn't even compute anymore. I mean, back in the 90s when it all came to be revealed that Bill Clinton was stepping out on Hillary, people were clutching their pearls because people still had the illusion that America was at least somewhat moral, and so were our leaders. That illusion's dead. It's gone. I mean, look who our president is. How many wives did he cheat on? No, I mean, seriously, that calculus no longer even factors in. That's just kind of baked in. People run for government. They all suck. You pray for the leader, and you get the least dirty shirt out of the hamper. That's what it is.
Well,
and it sucks. It shouldn't be that way, but that's the way that it is.
So yeah, I don't think at the end of the day, cheating scandals. This isn't 20 years ago with what's his name Edwards, Ted Democrat with the hair.
John Edwards.
John Edwards. This isn't that. This isn't. No. We're way past that era. It's now if people are cheating, you're cheating. You're like, grab them by the pussy. That's what this is where we're at.
Now, if JD Vance, if he did dump his wife to start swapping spit with Erica in the shower, that would cause some waves. Not because he left his wife, but because of the political, overt political play that it would be.
Yeah, it would obviously be an attempt to I mean, it would literally be, let's put it this way. If it worked, it would literally be like, yes, MAGA world is racist and I did this. I mean, it's kind of like analogous, I guess, to Napoleon when he had to, for political reasons, divorce Josephine, even though he loved her and lusted for her.
I don't know this story. What?
It's a complicated, long
and
story.
it broke his heart. That broke him more than anything.
Yeah.
What? I need to look that up. I don't know this story about his divorce.
Yeah, his penis is also mummified.
That's true.
Actually, someone owns his penis.
What?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Much like Tim Hall's.
Oh God.
Anyway, we should move on. We have. I have to run.
Okay,
soon,
quick last story. It's just
one?
a quick science story. Okay, we'll hit it. All right, this quick last story. So white storks, the bird. We're not a race thing. We're just talking about races.
Yeah.
Not white dorks. White storks.
No, dorks have been there all along.
That's right. White dorks have been in London for a long time, but this white storks, the bird, will return to London for the first time in over 600 years, Ted. That's weird. Marking an important milestone in urban rewilding, as it's called. The majestic birds, which have been extinct as a breeding species in England since 1416, were first successfully reintroduced to a countryside estate in West Sussex, about 45 miles southwest of the capital. This is all coming from The Guardian. So this fall, a breeding colony will find a home at an aviary in the London borough of Barking and Dagenham. That's a name. Thanks to a collaboration between the London Wildlife Trust and the local council and the mayor's Green Roots Fund. The project is part of a broader effort to reintroduce wildlife to communities in London and beyond. Beavers, for example, they've scheduled it, Ted. It's scheduled. Scheduled.
I love that
beavers
of scheduled.
The beavers are scheduled to return in 2027, where the ecosystem engineers, I guess that's a job, the ecosystem engineers will help restore local wetlands in a way that benefit other wildlife. Besides improving the environment, organizers hope the endeavor will spark curiosity and pride among residents. Quote, "This is a brilliant achievement for our borough and a real win for our residents," says Dominic Twomey, leader of the Barking and Dagenham Council, in a statement, adding, "It's about more than wildlife. It's about giving families, schools, and community groups the chance to be a part of something inspirational and hopeful." In honor of National Bird Day today. I didn't know it was Bird Day. Birds aren't real. Birds aren't real. So that's why that story is there today. But how could I didn't know storks were extinct.
Well, they're not extinct like globally, but just there, yeah. Mm-hmm. Look, by the way, adding to this news, New York. The news just broke over the weekend that wolves are now back in New York State. New York.
Wait, you guys didn't have wolves?
No. We had there were coyotes, and apparently, at least in one occasion, someone shot a coyote, and when they checked the DNA, it turned out it was actually a wolf because they're they interbreed. Wolves and coyotes interbreed, so it's kind of like. But this was a full-fledged wolf. So there are wolves. Wolves are not uncommon in Connecticut, and coyotes are all over upstate New York. But apparently, wolves are back. Which is cool. Anyway, look, I actually it sounds really gay to care about such a thing, but I'll tell you, I think it's actually really cool, and I think it's inspiring because it is inspiring in the way that they said, even though again the statements sound gay. Because here's the thing, like in New York, basically the only wildlife you ever see are cockroaches, rats, and pigeons. And I see. And so in a city like London, for example, the first time I was in Central Park a number of years ago, and I saw a snowy egret in a pond.
What?
An egret. It's
egret?
An egret. So imagine a stork, which has a big fat pointy bill, but a really thin, graceful bill. It's not a bill, it's a beak, but it has a long. It's a water.
Oh.
It's water. It's
waterfowl.
It's a waterfowl. This is a big bird,
okay.
though. They're like 3-4 feet tall, and
Oh
they
my God.
big
Okay.
white feathers, and they're all white, and they
Oh.
dig down and they scoop up fish. Right, that's like what they do. And I've also seen wild turkeys in Riverside Park in New York City, and it's cool that there's real wildlife like that. Like during the pandemic, there were suddenly all sorts of like rare songbirds and stuff
That makes sense.
in New York City, and it was
Because
kind of
people were scarce.
awesome. Yeah, exactly. People were scarce, and there wasn't as much noise, so as usual, and so less pollution, and it was really, really great. So I think this is for the Brits. This is a really great thing. They can sit there and they're going to see these magnificent birds. The beavers
and they're going to have a baby boom.
Of course, my being insane.
Ted, they're going to have a baby boom that the stork's going to bring.
Oh, right, good point.
All the babies.
I want them to introduce like 1 million beavers all at the same time and just put them all over London.
In London?
Just to see what happens. Take one
start
home.
gnawing down Big Ben.
Yeah. So I swear to God, this is
story.
like Jamal always talks about UFOs. So in Eastern Long Island, where I used to live, it was controversial whether or not beavers still lived there, and so evidence of them was found, like the Natural History Museum found gnawed trees and stuff and parts of a dam, but the beaver was never seen. But I swear to God on my mother's grave that I was driving home one night and I saw a beaver on the side of the road in a rut full of water. I'm sure it was a beaver. I was driving slow. I caught it right in my lights. It was a beaver for sure. But so those things are cool.
I don't know where they would live in London, the storks and the beavers, but here it comes next year. This year it's the storks, 2026, and 2027 the beavers are scheduled. So I like that, seeing wildlife in a big city, because I'm a city girl, and
it's good for the people who live there to be connected to the natural world. The LA River, which goes through downtown Los Angeles, has been partly rehabilitated, and it came back very quickly. Yes. And it's beautiful. People kayak there. There's a project on the books, but nothing's happened yet for the Bronx River, also in New York City, which would be also, I think, a big deal.
I love that story, and I didn't know there was a bird day, and today is bird day. So I like
and
looking
storks
at birds.
Are cool.
I've never seen a stork, so I've seen
great herons down in Florida. The blue herons, the big boys. Have you ever seen pelicans? Come on, you've seen pelicans, albatrosses.
Yeah, those I've seen.
Those are cool too,
but I've never seen a stork. I love flamingos.
They're cool.
I think those are really pretty looking birds. You've never seen one?
Never in person, but I have. But to me, the coolest is when like the albatross or I guess it's the pelicans, when they drop down. When they hunt, boom! They plunge into the water and they come up.
Birds are really cool.
A good-sized fish like flopping around, and it's like hop, hop, hop.
Well, it's like all those hawks or whatever that the Saudis and the Emiratis have, and RFK Jr.
And
birds are cool.
And they never miss too, right? Like, I don't know how pelicans could ever go extinct as long as fish exist. I mean, they always win, right? It's kind of like it's death from above. Like, you're fucked. It's like it's like nature's drone.
And then they get a bad rap for their big gullet. Their big.
You jolly fuck. They look like Maduro.
I thought he had more of a droopy dog kind of, like true. Joe Lieberman kind of. Yeah, but anyway, that's the fun story to start you off on 2026. Go do something nice for birds. Go feed them or something. Ted, Central Park. Go feed some birds. Go,
okay, will do.
Like the pigeon lady on Home Alone. Go feed birds. Home Alone 2.
All right.
Yeah, so it's National Bird Day, or there you go, or International Bird Day, whatever they call it. So that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in for our first show of 2026. Hopefully we can keep this schedule, and because I expect to return to work in a couple of days.
Congratulations.
So thank you. I don't know exactly everything yet, but That's how the Russians do. They kind of see how things flow and unfold.
Really? That sounds
Yeah.
very zen.
Yeah, they're kind of, well, I mean, we are dealing with Trump. So,
Yes, that's true. Well, he is the Zen master.
No, it's not that. It's just that they would be wise not to plan because Trump is in the White House. With Joe Biden, it was like, okay, we saw this coming. Yeah, the asshole is going to ban RT. With Trump, it's like, we like you today, we hate you tomorrow. We're buddies again. Putin's an asshole. Oh, but now Zelensky's an asshole. Now I'm friends with, So I don't know. Maybe I'll be returning to work next week.
Maybe. Could happen.
Thank you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Keep you posted. Happy New Year, Ted. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to you too. Good to have you back. See you tomorrow.
What a start to 2026. Like, buckle up.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Yeah, for sure.
Adios, all. Thank you.
Bye.